Okay, next topic is voltage divided bias or self bias or emitter bias circuit. So this is the circuit diagram of voltage divided bias circuit. Here, this circuit is more stable biasing circuit. It is a more stable biasing circuit when compared to previous two method, that is fixed bias connected to base bias. So this emitter bias, that is voltage divided bias, provide a better stability. So the biasing is achieved by these three resistors R1, R2 and RE. So here the biasing is achieved by using these three resistors. Here R1 and R2 act as a potential divider resistor or voltage divider resistors. So the current flow through the emitter resistance produces a reverse bias at the emitter junction. But for the better biasing circuit, better stability, we need to get a forward bias. But here the current flow the emitter resistance causes the reverse bias at emitter junction. To overcome this reverse bias into forward bias, which is obtained by VCC through R1 and R2 networks. So the voltage drop across R2 makes the forward bias to the emitter junction. So this emitter resistance causes the reverse bias. By overcome this reverse bias, this potential divider resistor is used to get a forward bias. How it can be achieved means the power supply VCC through R1 and R2 resistors, the voltage drop across R2 become a forward bias at the emitter junctions. In that way, we can achieve a forward biasing. So this is the overall of this circuit explanations. Okay, the operation of the circuit is, that is how here the collector current become a constant. That is collector current, how it will reduced, right? So as we know, if temperature increases, the minority charge carrier increases, ICO. So it automatically increases the collector current. If the collector current increases, then the voltage drop across the collector to emitter is increased, right? VCE increased. That is the voltage drop across emitter resistance. The voltage drop across emitter resistance is increased, because if collector current increases means it automatically increases the emitter current, because I is nothing but is approximately equal to IC. So if IC increases, then emitter current also increased. So the voltage drop across emitter resistance also increased. It automatically decreases the base emitter voltage. If base emitter voltage decreases mean it will reduce the base current. Then automatically collector current reduced. So in such a way that in that circuit we have to stable the collector current. So this is the hint of the operation, that is how the collector current maintain a constant. Temperature increases mean minority carrier increases, then collector current increases, which increases the emitter current, because the emitter current is approximately equal to the collector current. So the voltage drop across the emitter resistance also increased, which reduces the voltage drop across base and emitter terminal. So if VB decreases mean it decreases the base current, then it automatically decreases the collector current. Now circuit analysis. So in that voltage divided bias, we have a potential divider resistance. So we can write that R1 resistance is parallel to R2. So we can take, which is nothing but RB. So our base resistance RB equal to R1 parallel R2. That is R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Now apply the voltage divider rule. So that is the voltage divider bias circuit can be redrawn like this by applying a voltage divider rule. So voltage divider rule is nothing but the total voltage into particular resistor. So total voltage is nothing but power supply VCC into particular resistors. Particular resistor na that R2, okay, divided by sum of all resistors. So VB, voltage divider rule, the VP equal to total voltage into particular resistor divided by sum of the all register R1 plus R2. So we can redraw the voltage divided by a circuit into like this. Here RB is nothing but the parallel combination of R1 and R2. So this is VB is nothing but total power supply voltage into the particular resistor. So here the resistor is R2 divided by total sum of the all resistors R1 and R2. Now to apply the KVL at the input side. So VB minus IB RB minus VBE minus IE RE equal to 0. So VB IB RB plus VBE plus IE RE in IE RE. So I is nothing but sum of IC plus IB. So we can write IC is equal to beta into IB. So here we have take IB is common. So RB here beta into RC. Sorry, beta into RE plus IB into RE. So we can take 1 plus beta into RE plus VBE. Now IB equal to VB minus VBE divided by RB plus 1 plus beta RE. Next KVL at the output circuit. So VCC minus ICRC minus VCE minus IERE. So IERE is nothing but ICRE. So we can take IC is common. So RC plus RE. So IC is equal to VCC minus VCE by RC plus RE. Right. Next we can calculate the stability factor. So for that we can consider the equation A. So equation A is nothing but VB minus IB RB minus VBE minus IERE. So to take that equation, from that equation IB RB plus RE plus VBE plus IC RE. So here we do not change the IC in terms of beta into IB, just to keep IC is IC. So IB equal to VB minus VBE minus ICRC divided by RB plus RE. Because in stability factor the equation is S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into dou IB by dou IC. So for that we have to change IB equation in terms of IC, then only we can get the dou IC by dou IB by dou IC. So now consider this equation is 3. Now to find the S value. So for that S is equal to, we know the S formula. Now differentiate equation 3 with respect to IC. So equation 3 is nothing but this one. So dou IB by dou IC is equal to this two term 0. This term is minus RE by RB plus RE. Now substitute this term into stability factor equation. So in that substitution, S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into minus RE by RB plus RE minus into minus plus. So here take the LCM, we can get 1 plus beta, the denominator term goes to numerator RB plus RE divided by RB plus RE plus beta RE. Now divided by RE in the whole equations. So 1 plus beta RB by RE plus RE divided by RE equal to 1 divided by RB by RE, RE divided by RE equal to 1 plus beta into RE by RE equal to 1. So this 1 plus beta term cancel. So now we consider RB by RE is greater than 1 is greater than RB by RE. So we can neglect this RB by RE term in both numerator and denominator. Finally we get stability factor equal to 1. So next to find the stability factor in terms of dou IC by dou VBE. So we know IC is equal to beta IB. So we take equation 3 IB and change into IC by beta. So IC by beta equal to VB minus VBE by RB plus RE minus IC into RE by RB plus RE. Now let's change this factor into LHS side and take LCM and commonly take IC value. Then then change this term into LHS side, and after simplification we can get IC is equal to beta into VB minus VBE divided by 1 plus beta RE plus RB. Right. So this is the IC term. Now differentiate this equation with respect to VBE, we get S dash. Dou IC by dou VBE equal to minus beta by RB plus 1 plus beta RE. This term becomes 0. So this term becomes 1. So we can get minus beta by this value. This is the stability factor in terms of VBE. Next, S double dash. So again differentiate equation 4 with respect to beta. Already we get IC equation in terms of VBE and beta. So differentiate with respect to VBE, we get S dash. Differentiate with respect to beta, we get S double dash. So here beta is available at both numerator and denominator. So we can choose the formula of U by V method. U by V equal to V U dash minus U V dash divided by V squared. So already we derived and calculated to base model. So we can apply the same procedure. So first we can keep V as, that is denominator is simply keep as that, and differentiate the numerator term. Numerator term is beta in terms of VB minus VBE. So we differentiate this term, beta become 1. So we get VP minus VBE minus next U numerator term we can keep the same and differentiate the denominator term with respect to beta. So this RB equal to 0, only we get RE divided by V squared. So denominator term is multiplied with the square. So now VB minus VBE is common to take. So 1 plus beta RE plus RB minus beta RE divided by denominator the whole square. So after simplification, this two term cancel. Now VB minus VBE, here we can separate the term into two terms. So this term is nothing but IB. IB is nothing but IC by beta. So IC by beta into RB plus RE divided by 1 plus beta RE plus RB. Right? So this is the S double dash. So the advantages of this voltage divider bias circuit is which provide a stable portion of the Q point. That is the Q point is become a stable. Then RE provides the stability. The stability factor is controlled by RE and RB because in the stability factor in fixed voltage divider bias is equal to 1. So which is controlled by RE by R beta. If the value changes means S value become changed. The stability factor is controlled by these two resistance. Here S is very small, that is 1. So it can achieve a good stability. Whereas in fixed bias stability factor S is equal to 1 plus beta. For example, if beta equal to 50 means stability factor equal to 51. But here stability factor is 1. So the stability, the reduced stability factor produces the better stability, right? So this is the advantages of fixed bias circuit. So in first unit we have seen a biasing circuits. That is, what is biasing, why we apply biasing, what is the need of biasing, how to achieve a biasing circuit, what is mean by operating point, how to select the operating point, what are the possibility to change the operating point, how it becomes stable. For that we have used a compensation technique and stabilization technique. In that stabilization technique we can using a resistive biasing circuit which can allow to vary the base current. Due to that we can control the collector current. So in that stabilization technique we have a three types of biasing circuit. First one is fixed bias or base resistor. Second one is collector to base bias or feedback bias. Third one is voltage divider bias or self bias or emitter bias. So that's all about the biasing of BJT.